What is up, guys? We have got episode 3 of the On the Court in the Booth podcast. Wyatt Williams, Trey Kaufman ran there. You see us both. We've got a action-packed show for you today. We've got more Q&A because you guys love it. You guys ask great questions. So till those great questions stop, we're just going to keep rolling with Q&A. We've got Would You Rather. That was a hit last time, as well as Trey. There was some big news with you in basketball involving Redshirt. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And we hinted at it last week. Spongebob quotes. I'll just leave it there. We'll get to the intro when we come back. We got Q&A. We'll see you guys in a second. And it is Q&A time for us. Trey, we've got some awesome questions that they've been sending in. They have been hit questions from the beginning, and they have not stopped. So you know what? We are going to get into some questions today, and you're hosting Q&A for us, so go ahead, sir.
For sure. I want to say that I brought my water in. I know it was a big problem from last show,
Nice.
so
Hey,
I had to make sure. Yes, yes.
I got another one here
Had to-
too, just in case.
yeah, yeah. Um, the first question is leading in from the last show. Somebody asked us what our favorite gas station was.
Favorite gas station? Well, now being from Indiana, I would say should I give an Indiana favorite gas station and a Florida favorite gas station because they're very different. Like they're two different things. Or should I just give an all around favorite? Because if we're just talking like favorite gas station ever, that's Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is so cool. You been to a Buc-ee's before?
I have not. No.
They're
What
down here
is?
in the South, and they're like all throughout the South. They're like from Texas to, I think they started in Texas, and they've just kind of spread like wildfire all over the South. And it's like these gigantic gas stations that have like I would say 200 gas pumps at them, and it's like a little convenience store inside, but like it's all Buc-ee's themed. It's really cool. You should definitely check it out if you haven't. I would say like well, they've got like a bunch of food there too, and like a nice market and stuff. And it's not like normal gas station food. It's like actually prepared in a kitchen, so it's good food. Um, so yeah, it's got really good food. If we're talking Florida, my favorite gas station since I've been down here is probably Wawa because you just can't go wrong with Wawa. They're really good. And then in Indiana, say probably Thornton's, like those Polar Pops.
Thornton's.
Whole
Yeah.
deal. 44
Yeah.
ounce cup, man.
That's
80
respectable.
something cents. That's what it
44,
is.
44 ounces for 80 cents. That is a decent. That is a very good deal.
Exactly.
Um, and people don't understand how good that like gas station food is. They disrespect that, and
Right.
I really enjoy the gas station food. Now, obviously, that's not on again a Division One athlete's meal plan, gas station
Right.
chicken tenders, but when I get a chance to eat it, it is always it's always been good to me.
Good stuff.
My favorite gas station is the classic Circle K. And I know that's a super boring one, but I grew up right next to a Circle K, and I forget, some people call them big gulps or kind of what you were talking about. That it was every single day. Polar Pop, I think it was called. My mom had to get a Polar Pop every single day, and like I can't get that kind of image or like I guess word out of my head. Like they're always called Polar Pops now, and they're always
Right.
super cheap. Um, super cheap drinks. So when I think of a gas station, my favorite gas station is Circle K.
Definitely can't go wrong though. Like you said, that's the deals that you get on drinks, especially the drink deals that you get on gas stations, they're unbeatable. I mean, it's like 40, like I said, 44 ounces for like 80 to 90 cents somewhere in there. You can't beat it. You literally cannot beat it.
Yeah, it's like the McDonald's like super size me, but like you don't even have to say it. Um,
Right.
the second question we have here, it's banking off of that, is favorite soda in general. So not we're not talking about Polar Pops here or Big Gulps or whatever they're called in other
Right.
places. Just favorite soda in general. You're going to a restaurant. What are you ordering? If you're getting soda.
Right. So that's kind of a weird one for me. I think I have like certain drinks for certain foods. Like for example, at Chick-fil-A, I always get cherry Coke. At Chipotle, I get Sprite. At like certain places, you just get you just get different drinks at certain places. I would say my go-to at most places, because it's always good, is Sprite. Cherry Coke is really good, but the problem with Cherry Coke is if they don't have Cherry Coke, like actual Cherry Coke, and they have to take it to the bar and put grenadine in it, to the cherry syrup. Yeah, they always put way too much cherry syrup in it, and it's like I'm all I can taste is cherry. There's no Coke there. It's just cherry soda. So like I would say I would say just cherry Coke, but there's that whole factor of the grenadine thing. So I'm gonna go Sprite, because you can't go wrong with Sprite. It's so good.
No, you can't. You can't. And that's my honest, like, I don't obviously you know why I don't drink a lot of soft drinks. Um Water. Just cuz and that's not even
Soda's another one of those things that's probably just not on the meal plan.
yeah, not on the meal plan. But unlike fried chicken, it is something that I just do because I like it more. I'd rather drink water than other soft drinks. I don't know why. It's just I don't know, just refreshing. I know it tastes like nothing, but at the same time, it is. I like the taste. Is weird as that sounds, but as somebody who does drink a lot of soda, or do you drink a lot of soda? I'm not exactly sure.
Um, I don't know. I'm kind of a medium person. I drink a lot of water, but at the same time, like if I go out to dinner, it's normally, unless if I'm tight on money because I'm a broke college kid, unless if I'm like super tight
Aren't
on
we all?
money. Right, right, no kidding. Unless if I'm like super tight on money, I'll go with a water. But I would say I'm a pretty balanced person. I'm kind of half and half. Like half the time I get a soda, half the time I get a water. Especially here at the house. Like I've got one, two, three, four, five cases of water sitting. I'd be able to see them. Like, no, let's adjust the camera here. See him
There
right
we go.
right
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
5 cases of water for your boy always. So yeah, I would say at home it's definitely more water, and I love, and I do mean love, apple juice. Like my favorite at home snack is mini corn dogs and apple juice. Go ahead and call me a 3-year-old, because I know it's so bad, but
Yeah.
it's delicious. I love it so much. It's my favorite. Apple juice and corn dogs. You cannot get mini corn dogs. You cannot go wrong with that as a like at home snack.
No, you can't. I've had many. That's been a. I don't know about the apple juice. I never really got into apple juice. As far as it being like a top level drink, but apple juice is good, I guess. And
Are
mini
you an
corn dogs.
OJ guy then, or are you orange juice?
Dude, I don't know. It switches. Like orange juice, grape juice, and apple juice. It kind of rotates. Even
Okay.
grapefruit juice is really good.
Oh, that's one I can't do.
You
It's too
you
tart.
can't,
I
dude.
can't do that one.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't.
You have to be in a certain zone for sure.
Right.
But I guess my main question was, do you ever go? You talked about how when they add extra like Coke syrup or whatever, do you ever taste the difference between those kind of you have the normal like vending machine, not vending machines, but the thing that you get your soda out of, your soda
Right.
machines, but then you have like the new like high tech ones where you just press a button and then press it and it fills up your cup. And
Right.
those
Yes, with the
always seem to
digital screen
have
like at
with
Wendy's.
the digital screen. Yes.
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 Are you
So those
asking if those
always
taste different?
yes, that's my
They
question.
one they 100,000% do.
Okay.
One
Can you
million
describe the
percent do.
difference?
I don't know. It's just like I feel like most of the drinks there all taste a certain, like they've all got a certain flavor to them. Like they can all be different, but they all just have a certain, I don't know how to explain it either. It's just like they've got a certain taste, and it's just not the same. It is not. I know exactly what you're talking about. As soon as you said
Yeah.
it, it jogged my memory, because I've always said that, and I've always been like, Wendy's is the king of that. Because like we'll go to Wendy's and I'll be like, oh man, this. this cherry Coke tastes different. Everybody's like, tastes the exact same. It's out of the new machine or whatever. Like, what do you mean? And I've been saying that for the longest time now that it tastes like just barely off. Like there's just something. I don't know what it is. If it's like one ingredient, if it's they use a different carbonation, but like there's
Right.
just always one thing off.
Uh-huh.
And
And
yeah, I think that, I don't know.
because I've heard it as far as like, you've got the canned drinks, and then you also have like the fountain drinks. And so a lot of
Yes.
people say those taste differently. But like somebody who doesn't drink much soda, like I don't know if the glass bottle tastes different than the can, if that tastes different than the fountain drink. Like I guess when you're asking me like what my favorite soft drink is, I will have to go Sprite or Sierra Mist. Um I think Sierra Mist is like I don't know if it's a knockoff of Sprite or I guess that's what you would call it. But for some reason,
Right.
it makes me feel healthier, and it's a little bit less. It's like watered down Sprite. Let's just be honest here. It's watered down Sprite, and so I actually like the taste a little bit better because it's watered down Sprite. It's probably it kills you like every other soft drink, but
Right.
it tastes good to me. So
Yeah, I don't think I've ever noticed a difference between bottles and cans of soda, but I've definitely noticed the difference between the machines, the digital machines, and like everything else. Like the digital machines just have their own taste that they give off. And it's see, you go up to it for the first time and you're like, oh, this is fancy. This is gonna be awesome. But I think it actually tastes worse in those.
okay, hot take. Wyatt Williams
Hot hot
is
take,
calling
hot
out
take.
removal of all the nice vending machines across America. Is basically
The
what he just
digital
said.
ones.
Every restaurant that has those, he hates and gives them 0 out of 5 stars on I don't know whatever food review place you have. So yeah,
It would be 0 out of 10, but I can only go 0 out of 5. So
yeah, you can only go 0 out of 5. So um, next question is simple: pizza or chicken? I'm assuming they mean like what came to mind for me was if you are going to die. I don't know why it has to be a life and death situation, but if you're gonna die, yeah, it has to be right.
I love how
What?
intense you got too. You got up
Yeah,
here with it too. You were if you were gonna die,
yeah,
and then you paused too to add that effect.
yeah. Because a little bit
I
was
love
like
the way you presented that question. You
I
really
forgot how
grabbed
kind of.
me.
Oh yeah, yeah. Grabbed your attention. It's like the intro to a great book. Um, I also kind of forgot what I was gonna say, so I had to pause there for a little bit to recalculate what I was saying.
Pizza
Um,
chicken.
pizza chicken. I'm
Yes.
assuming it means like you have to get rid of one of them. Which one are you gonna get rid of completely?
Here's the twist. Here's the twist. I put chicken on my pizza. What?
Hold on. I don't think that's
What?
legal.
Barbecue chicken pizza is
It's actually
amazing.
very good. It's actually
It is
very good.
so good. So
There was a time in my life where I was a loser and didn't realize the value of barbecue chicken pizza in society. But luckily, those days
it's
of not being valuable to humanity are over. And I recognize how great barbecue chicken pizza is.
have do you like meat lovers pizza?
Yeah, yeah, it's good.
Like
It's not my favorite.
all
I
meat,
mean,
all
I'm
meats.
talking about like Supreme. Supreme's my favorite. But I mean, if somebody
Supreme?
gives me, yeah, for sure. If
Oh,
somebody
that's
gives me,
nobody's favorite, Trey. You're the only person that likes just Supreme pizza.
it's mine. I really like it.
Oh
Yeah,
no.
maybe that's why I like it is because I get all of it and everybody else gets none. So
Right,
it's
no
just out of
kidding. You're like, oh man,
selfishness.
this one's always, nobody ever takes out of this one.
Yeah,
I get the whole pizza to myself.
right, right. Because it's always about me and no one else. Because I have no
Right.
feelings for anybody else. Um, but meat lovers, yeah. If somebody gives me a slice of meat lovers pizza, I'm not gonna be like, no, I don't like meat lovers. But it's not the
All right, well here
first thing I'm gonna grab.
right. Here's the twist to that. Meat lovers pizza, but with barbecue instead of marinara sauce. That's the twist of the day for you. You got to try it.
Do you like? That's what you like?
It's very good. It is very, very good. I don't know if it's my favorite pizza because I would say I prefer just a traditional meat lovers pizza, but if you've had meat lovers pizza and you liked it, I really strongly recommend that you try it with barbecue sauce instead of marinara. And like all pizza companies do it. Like I've got it from Papa John's. Papa John's is, by the way, the best at it. So get it from Papa John's. But Papa John's all meat with barbecue sauce instead of marinara is pretty good. I'm telling you, you gotta try it before you die. It's one of those like gotta try.
Gosh, like bucket list item. Um,
Seriously,
yeah, no, I'll try it. That it doesn't sound bad. It sounds like something that would taste good.
right?
But I'd say for me, I guess getting back to the question, chicken or pizza, I would have to go.
Neither of us actually answered it.
Yeah, no, we didn't answer.
We just talked for like 3 minutes about
Yeah,
our
it's
favorite
like it was
pizzas.
it's such a bad situation to actually
Right?
happen that we're just gonna
You don't want to
delay the
actually get
onset
to
of it.
it.
Right, exactly. Um, I would have to take chicken, and I think pizza for me,
Wait, give
and
up
it's such a
chicken, or
hard.
you're keeping chicken?
I'm keeping chicken. I'm giving
Okay,
up
okay,
pizza
give up pizza. Okay,
because I think pizza is more. First off, Italian food is the best type of food in my opinion.
it's so good.
Um,
It's
and
stupid good.
pizza, yes, and pizza is good at all times. Like, there's not a moment in my life where I'm like, I don't want pizza right now.
Right. Well,
Like, that
you
doesn't happen.
can't really screw up pizza. It's inevitably good.
You can't. It's impossible. Like, the worst pizza is good pizza. That's how I look at it. Chicken, on the other hand, there are times, there's so many different types of chicken too. Like, when you're talking about like fried chicken tenders or chicken wings, at obviously I always talk about Cluckers is my favorite restaurant, but yeah, even if you're talking about like B Dubs or chicken wings or whatever, like that's so much different than a grilled chicken breast that you would get at a restaurant. It's just so much. It's almost
Right.
two different types of foods. Um, but I couldn't live without that. Right. Like there's some moments in life where you have to get chicken. For me, like I can't live without chicken. But I would want pizza more of the time. That's what makes it difficult for me. So I have to keep the chicken,
Right.
but I recognize that there are more times in my life where I would be satisfied with pizza than chicken.
See, and I'm kind of piggybacking off what you say here, but I'm also going to go in a different direction. Pizza is good all the time, so therefore I feel like it is too much to give up, because there are kinds of chicken that certain people don't like. People don't like chicken prepared this way. People don't like chicken prepared this way. Like there's certain ways that, chicken has to be prepared right. So I feel, and like you said, like pizza is really like it's good either way. Like it's not my favorite, but I would eat a supreme pizza. I would eat an all veggie pizza. It's not my favorite, but it's still going to be good because it's pizza. Like
Right.
you
Right.
really can't screw it up. So I would say, yeah, I'd have to give up chicken because pizza's just it's too good. It's way too good.
That's fair. That's
And think
fair.
about that. Like anytime that you get together with your family or you get together with friends or anything, normally there's pizza involved. So like
Yeah, there's pizza.
imagine going to a Super Bowl party and you walk in and they're like, "Hey, we got pizza over in the corner." And you're like, "Oh, no thanks. I gave up pizza for life." Like you're just going to look like a weirdo too. So I feel like I can't give up pizza. It's a necessity.
Yeah. That's fair. That is definitely fair. And like I said, people that don't like what's your favorite pizza place?
My favorite pizza place.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was thinking of Little Caesars, and it's not my favorite, but people who don't like Little Caesars disgust me. Okay? Because Little Caesars is dirt cheap, hot and ready, like just cheapest of the cheap pizza, but it's so good. I don't care if it tastes like cardboard, paper
right.
stock,
Once again, it
like
just goes back to
tree
pizza's
bark,
always good.
like
Right.
anything. It tastes good. And I'm going to spend $5 on a large pizza. I just am,
It's
right?
a heck of a
Like
deal. It
it's going to
really
happen.
is. Yeah, you get a serious bang for your buck at Little Caesars. Little Caesars is definitely not my favorite pizza place, but it is very good. I mean, I agree with you. I think that anybody who says that Little Caesars isn't a great place is just a disgusting human being. I think it's just that simple. No, just
It's
kidding.
just it's actually a proven
It's just
fact.
it's just wrong. Like it's just you can't say that. You just cannot. For the price and for the quality of pizza and for the price and the amount that you get, it's just you can't beat it. You cannot beat
Hmm.
Little Caesars when it comes to quantity, quality, and all that. So, but my favorite pizza place. Oh, I'll get to the point in a minute. I swear to God, I will. Um, I've really been liking a place down here. It's called Donato's, but it's also in. It's originally from Ohio, and Nikki's from Ohio. So anytime we go there to visit her family, we always get Donato's. It's a really big place and a really big thing in Ohio, and they have them down here too. So now that we've been down here, it's kind of a familiar face, you know what I mean, down here. So we've been going there a lot and eating. So shouldn't say a lot, but every time we've got pizza, it's just been from there. So uh, I would say right now, I guess Donato's is my favorite because it's the one I eat the most right now of all the pizzas. Because since we've been down here, we've probably gotten pizza 4 times maybe, and every time it's been Donato's. So yeah, I'll take Donato's.
Yes. I haven't been. I remember you took me to a pizza place that I thought was really good. Me, you, and Nikki went
Dude,
to.
dude, no, that is the best pizza place. You're 100% correct. I cannot believe I just said that. I am so sorry to Jindy's Pizza in
Denny's.
Hanover, Indiana. Jindy's, my sincerest
Denny's.
apologies are headed your way right now. Everybody listening, if you have not had Jindy's Pizza, let me explain to you that your life is missing something. You are not fulfilling your life to the fullest every day if you have not had Jindy's. If you are ever in the south, like middle but a little bit eastern side of the state, right around the
South,
Louisville, the Kentuckiana
south, middle,
area.
but a little bit eastern.
Right, right. It's kind of hard to
Yeah,
explain. It's in a rough place. It's in a rough place to explain. Um, you've got to hit Jindy's. It's just outside of
Denny's.
Madison. Just it's between Madison and like Scottsburg,
And it's a
and
hole in the wall,
you.
fellas. A
It is. It
hole in the
is.
wall, and it
It
is so good.
100% is. It is. I'm telling you, the best pizza you will ever have. And they have a dessert pizza there that is just as incredible. I mean,
I thought it was
seriously, it's like
okay.
change your life pizza.
I thought the dessert
Okay, you
pizza
had
was
a bad
okay.
one. Not a bad one. You had an okay one. I went
I
there
thought the
one.
dessert pizza was just okay, but the pizza was really good nonetheless.
Right, right. So yeah, my sincerest apologies go out to Jindy's. I cannot believe that I forgot Jindy's. The amount of times that we've been just driving across the state, especially up to Madison, like when we went to sectionals and stuff, we went there and ate. Like every time we go through Madison or Hanover or even sometimes like Scottsburg, we'll always hit Jindy's because it's so good. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, Jenny's was a good
Can't beat
spot.
it.
I think mine. We went to Chicago, and there was a place called Lou Malnati's Pizza, Chicago deep dish.
No, not mm-hmm.
Um, let's just leave it at that. Chicago deep dish pizza, Lou Malnati's. It tastes different than any
You like the
pizza.
Chicago. You like the flip pizza.
I like the deep dish like pizza pie pizza. I like different variations. But it was so different than any like you had to use you almost had to it's a pie. Like you almost had to use a fork
Right,
to
right. You can't like hold it like
cut your
normal
pizzas.
pizza.
Yeah. And your crust is it's like a legit like almost pie-esque crust. Like
Right.
you're getting kind of that bottom part of a pie. It's just so much different than any other It's I mean it's literally like it's pizza and like a pie put together. Like unless you've had, deep dish pizza, and this is not like your Papa John's deep dish. Like this is like legit Chicago deep dish pizza. It's a different experience. I think Detroit is probably my favorite style. And I know it's funny because Little Caesars also isn't my favorite pizza, but they're supposed to do Detroit pizza, Detroit style pizza.
Yeah.
Um, but fun fact about that
I don't think I've
is
had Detroit style. What's Detroit style?
I
Because like I
don't
know
know.
Chicago style is like the up. It's like the upside down where like the sauce is on top, which a lot of people hate on, but I actually think it's very underrated. Chicago pizza is great. I've had New York pizza where the pizza is like the slices are like this big. So I've had that too, but I don't think I've had this Detroit style.
Detroit's like crunch. It's like everything, man. It's literally like everything. Like when I think of deep dish Chicago, I'm thinking of like literally like a pie that you're like literally cutting with your fork and you're eating. It's like cool,
Right.
whatever. Then you got New York, super thin, large slices of pizza. Cool. All great. Again, it's pizza. Detroit is like more like squarish kind of, and it's a thick pizza that also has a crunch with it, but has just enough of a lot of marinara sauce. Like a lot of marinara has the crunch. It's just a little bit of everything, and it's really good. But they say in Detroit they make it from like the parts, like the I don't know, like the car parts that they made. Like that's how Detroit, makes their, originally made their pizza was
They make their
through
pizza from
Detroit.
car parts.
Yeah, like that's how they got the mold for the pizza.
Oh, it actually?
So they baked it in like the car parts. Yeah, I think I could be
Are you
wrong on this,
serious?
but
If
I
this is
think
true,
that's
that's
like
crazy. That's so. I thought you were like joking around, like that they put car parts in the pizza,
no, I'm serious. Like style, let's see, Detroit style pizza. Yeah,
and so they
like
cook it in the. That's like in the engine, I'm guessing, where it gets real hot.
yeah, but I mean, obviously, it's just like the car parts, the mold. They may serve it in it, but see, it says rectangular pizza with a thick crust that is crispy and chewy. So if you've had Detroit style pizza, you know what I'm talking about. But yes, it's really good.
It's like an
Uh,
everything kind of pizza. I like it.
yeah, it's good.
Sounds good.
But yeah, that's the that those are the Q&As this week. I thought it was really good, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
A lot of good
absolutely
questions.
awesome questions. Yeah, no, you guys never, and I mean never, miss on these questions. We got to put Q&A back up on our Instagram stories though to get those
We do.
questions flowing back in, because we got so many from that first time that we've been able to kind of last this point, but now we're starting to run dry a little bit, so we got to kind of throw it back up there, and we'll get more questions to come in. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. Also, go ahead and just drop Q&A questions in the comments below. I read all the comments and stuff, and Trey does too. So we'll go through them and we'll pick them out of there too. So either check our Instagram stories, we'll put the Q&A stuff up there, or you can just leave a comment below for Q&A. How about that? Perfect timing.
Yeah,
We are
captions.
gonna
Look at that.
take right. Look at that. Oh, I forgot about our captions. Look at this. Oh man, what a gem. We haven't used any of these yet.
Here we go.
There we go.
It's just yeah.
That's the
Boom.
one.
Yes,
That's the one.
follow us on IG on the court in the brew pod. Um, that's a necessity. Or your
Then
life
we've
will
got
be
an
in
all
danger.
caps thing here. Look at this. I love this. This is my favorite. It's yelling at you on the court in the booth podcast.
Yeah, it's actually
It's
screaming right at you individually, and not anyone else. So it's personal. We get down and personal here at on the court in the booth
we
podcast.
get down and personal, down and dirty here.
Yeah, down and dirty
And
when we
dirty.
make our pizzas.
Especially when we make our pizzas. Trey, we're going to take a 1-minute break real quick. When we come back, we've got all kinds of cool stuff coming up for them. Spongebob quotes being one of those things. We're going to talk a little bit about your red shirt thing when we come out. And yeah, we'll see you guys in 1 minute. And welcome back. As you see, gone away. Never mind. You don't see it. Let me Boom, there it is. WWTKR. You see Trey with a mouthful. What are you eating there, man?
What are they
I'm gonna
called?
call you out, put you on the spot here.
Wontons? Is that what it is?
Wontons.
I think so. Cream cheese filled wonton. Is that what a wonton is?
I think so. Sounds good,
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Wontons are very good.
It is very good, whatever it is.
All right, man. So we all know what happened with you redshirting and everything. So, we kind of just wanted to give you a little time here to, express to everybody what went on with the situation, how you came to your decision, and just everything with it. Just explain it however you'd like, man. Floor is yours.
Yeah. Honestly, there's not. It's not an overly, I guess, complicated explanation. Um, I thought that some of the things that I bring as a player, like when you go to college, I know Sasha's talked a lot about this. One of my teammates is you have to have like a role in college, right? And really,
Right.
like every level, step up you go, you got to know like what you're good at. And just with the situation with this team in particular, first off, this is an amazing team. A lot of people know that we're what ranked top 10, maybe top 5 in the country.
Right.
Um, but more specifically, a lot of the things that I am good at, the team already has, if that makes sense. One of the examples is I would say one of my strengths is being a scorer. That's something that this team in particular is already really good at. Whereas some of my weaknesses are things that, if somebody had those, let's say some of my weaknesses somebody else was really good at, like that's what the team needs. So my weaknesses are something that the team really needs, I guess is the best way that I can put it.
Sure.
So long story short, I think that just the way the situation's laid out, first off, I don't have an ego when it comes to redshirting. I think a lot of people kind of serve it in a bad light, but for me, it's kind of like I get a year to first off learn the kind of schemes Purdue basketball has. They're known to have kind of one of the more complicated defensive and offensive schemes in the way that they run things, just in general.
Absolutely.
And so I get another full year to learn all of those things again, even get even better at the strengths that I have, and then improve on my weaknesses. So when I come in next year, I can be the best version of myself, and hopefully have the role that best showcases my strengths next year, if that makes sense.
Does.
Again, it's we didn't really rehearse this at all. Me
Sure.
explain everything, but hopefully I hit kind of all the cylinders. One thing I will say though is like as far as the team, like all the guys that are on this team are super like understanding and helpful, and like I'm just glad that I can support them in any way I can, whether it's like I said, I talk to them, whether it's if somebody's down, like picking them up, just cheering them on every game. So that's something that I'm excited about, that I get to be even though I won't be physically showing up in the games in the jersey, like I'll still be there, part of this Purdue ride. So I'm excited. Like I said, I'm excited. Even the days that I've already had, I've gotten so much better. So I'm excited for next year, obviously, when I can come in and play. But I'm also excited for the great things that I know this team's gonna do this year.
Absolutely. We talked a little bit about it before, everything had happened, and I think you made a really selfless move, a move that was really good for your teammates, a move that was best for your team, and I'm proud of you. And you'll always have my support as well as everybody else's. So, yeah, do you, man? And next, we're moving on to SpongeBob quotes. So, what a way to, what a segue, right? We're gonna go from a really serious topic to just SpongeBob quotes. But you know what? We talked about it last week. We said we were gonna bring you guys our top SpongeBob quotes. So we've comprised both of our three favorite. Now, this is in no like, I didn't put it as the three best SpongeBob quotes ever. I just put it as my favorite, my three favorites. So is that I think that's what you did as well, right?
I did, and I have way more than three on my list. So it's kind of just gonna be kind of off the dome what I what I'm thinking at the moment.
Right.
Because there's just so many great things. But I'll go ahead and let you start. Because I'm gonna I gotta think of what one I'm gonna pick first.
Uh all I know is we talked a little bit about this in the pre-show meeting and we were just dying laughing. Like just I started
Yeah.
crying laughing. It's hilarious. I mean like some of these, getting to like just flashing back in my head to like the first time that I heard them and seeing what that scene looked like and stuff. Oh, there's so many good ones. So the first one here that I'm going to start with, and I think this is just an iconic one, and this one's always been funny to me. And it's, "Hey Patrick, what? I thought of something funnier than 24.
Yes.
Let me hear it. 25."
25. Classic. Um,
Right.
Again,
I
Patrick
kind of
goes to
wanted to go
boating
with
school.
right. I kind of wanted to go with an iconic one in this, and I actually went. I got two pretty iconic ones, but I've always thought that one was funny and it's super iconic, so I threw that one in there. What's your first?
Yeah, I want to say that first off, that one's hilarious, and it is definitely meme worthy, as
Right.
it has shown up pretty much everywhere. Like if you think of SpongeBob memes, that has to come to mind. I'm trying to think of the SpongeBob actually that it's like, all right, I'm out of here or something like that. Where he's
Right.
getting up out of the
I
couch.
know,
I
he's
think
like,
that's the newest one.
you see, like
All
the
right, I'm ready to leave,
sign.
something like that. Um,
All right, I'm a head out. That's what it is.
yeah, all right, I'm gonna head out. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Um, So, but yeah, I think the 25 that may take the cake is the biggest. I'm not sure. I don't know the stats obviously, but when I think of SpongeBob memes, that's what I think of. The first one I have um, down here is it's we talk a lot about mental toughness on this show, and I
Right.
say this is our third show, so obviously but we're going to talk a lot about mental toughness, and I want
Sure.
to phrase this: I respect mental toughness, especially in athletics. Um, and not just athletics, just being mentally tough, being disciplined and following
Dialed in.
rules, dialed in every aspect of your life. But one of my biggest pet peeves is people taking mental toughness and putting it at the first level of importance
On a
that they have
pedestal.
on a pedestal, right? As if it is more important than the actual skill or athleticism. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to sports, when it comes to life, you can be as mentally tough as you want, but if you're not skilled or I don't know, wait a second, athletically gifted or know your material and have knowledge about a certain subject, like you're not gonna make it, right? There's plenty of people who work in, you know, I don't know, like like mine out of caves, but they aren't playing in the NBA, and they are more mentally tough than NBA players, but they are not more skilled than an NBA player. They're not more
Sure.
athletically gifted than an NBA player. Anyway, that's my rant about mental toughness. So, back to SpongeBob. SpongeBob's trying to walk in the salty spittoon. And this is kind of like the mental toughness episode. And I think he's like, how tough are you? And SpongeBob goes, I think this is from this episode. I'm not 100% sure, but he says, I'll have you know that I stubbed my toe last week and only cried for 20 minutes. And I just think that is the perfect response to somebody who starts talking about mental toughness. Whenever somebody asks, how tough are you, like that kind of thing, say
Just
that
say
quote.
that.
Right.
Say
I'll have
that.
you know
That's
that I
that's
stubbed my toe last week and only cried for 20 minutes. Say it in a serious voice with
give them a
no
serious
straight
straight
face,
face.
serious voice. I don't know if I could, but like imagine you saying that just with this straight. It would be perfect. I would pay.
Right.
I want to be a fly on the wall when
For
that
that
happens
conversation.
for that conversation.
Right. That would definitely be a good one.
So
That would be funny.
that'll be my
So here's my next one, and this is one we laughed about a lot
yes.
pre-show. And I
This is
cannot
great.
share my screen,
This is
or else I
great.
would it show it, but it's from the episode where they're I don't know where they are. I think they were headed to Davy Jones' locker or something, and they're on why is this name escaping me? The ship. They're on what was the ship called?
The
You know what I'm
Flying
talking
Dutchman?
about? Yes, yes, yes.
The Flying
They're on the
Dutchman.
Flying Dutchman, and they're going along, and he's going to park it, and SpongeBob's like, "You're good, you're good, you're," and the whole time
Yes,
it's
yes.
like grinding on the bottom of the
It's
seafloor,
it's
and there's
being
stuff like
demolished
spitting,
between these two
right?
racks. Yeah. Rocks, yeah. It's great.
and
It
and
is
there's like wood
hilarious.
flying up, and the entire time
Yeah.
SpongeBob's like, "You're good, you're
You're
good,
good.
you're
Yep.
good,
Yep.
you're good."
It is great. Again, if you're a SpongeBob fan, this is I mean, this has to be one of the best. I can't think of a
Oh,
better, like more hilarious scene than that one. That one's awesome. Another one that we kind of talked a little bit about in the show, and it'll be my number 2 pick, was Squidward goes, Mr. Krabs is changing the menu prices on his little menu, and he goes, $101 for a Krabby Patty? That's what Squidward says, and Mr. Krabs iconically goes, with cheese, Mr. Squidward, with cheese. And that is great to me. I mean, if you rap one quote for Mr. Krabs, that's what it would be.
that's the
I
one.
mean, that is just perfect for me.
With cheese, Mr. Squidward with cheese.
With
Oh
cheese, as if that makes
God,
up for it.
it's awesome. My next one, and this is my last one. I only brought three. You brought a bunch. And this is just another iconic one. Like you just can't beat this. This is always gonna be funny. Every time that I watch this episode, they're in that theater, and he goes, "Oh, Squidward." Is Patrick goes, "Oh, Squidward, is mayonnaise an instrument?" And he goes, "No, Patrick, mayonnaise is not an instrument."
Yes.
And he asks, like, "What about horseradish or something like that?"
No, see that's the thing. That's what makes it funny because uh, Patrick raises his hand again, and Squidward goes, "And horseradish is not an instrument either." And he lowers his hand. It was perfect. Yes. It was fun. You know what's funny about that is
That
because
episode is so funny too, because that's the
it
one
is
where Patrick has his
hilarious.
head in the trombone. And he
Yes,
opens
yes,
it up and it
yeah.
goes. "Err."
Yeah. It has that one. It has the big meaty, big meaty claws. That's a
Oh,
that's a good
your
one.
big meaty claws.
Yeah, yeah. That one's on there. Yeah, that's a funny episode, man.
That's an
Um,
all timer.
that's an all timer. Yeah. Um, I kind of
Oh
lost my
man,
train of thought. To be honest, what was
I'm over here
your?
crying, laughing again, dude.
Yes. Yeah.
Gosh,
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. In high school, um, sophomore, junior year, I took a class called Music History and Appreciation, and he talked about that quote, and he said that when you're making music, pretty much everything's music, right? Like if you
sure,
hit your hands against
right. I
something,
can smack my
that's
desk and make a
music,
beat or
right?
something, right?
So technically, mayonnaise is an instrument, and Squidward was wrong, which is, you know, doesn't matter. But anyway, I thought that was
You just
because
wanted to
it's such a
correct it for the record.
right for the record because I always
For
care
the
about being
record,
correct.
mayonnaise actually is an instrument.
Right, it actually is an instrument. So Squidward, you were wrong. Patrick, you were right. Why this one's great. I actually have three more. So I will. Do you mean knock out two of them right now?
Sure, let's hear it.
I have an iconic one, and one that is less iconic but funnier. So I will go with the funnier one first. Patrick goes, or no, SpongeBob goes, Patrick, you're a genius. Patrick goes, yeah, I get called that a lot. SpongeBob goes, what, a genius? Patrick goes, no, Patrick. that 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 whole that whole scheme dialogue, um again, wraps Patrick in a nutshell. I remember you were bringing up a I haven't memorized actually. Is the inner machinations of my mind are an enigma. Um,
Right?
that quote. So that's yes. For the record, mayonnaise is an instrument. TKR.
Here
Yes, that is a
we got
caption
our
that you.
quote of the day. Oh, hold on. We both
Yes.
keep on clicking it at the same time. There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
For the record,
Mayonnaise
mayonnaise
is an
is an
instrument.
instrument. We've got two
Yeah.
iconic quotes already. I mean, look at this. You got it's Chester's, not Cheetos, and then for the
Yes.
record, mayonnaise is an instrument. So
Yes.
it's
I
out there.
mean,
It's a real thing now.
yeah. The iconic one was Fred. Do you know who Fred is from SpongeBob?
Fred.
This
Which
is
one is that?
Fred is uh um SpongeBob fanatic knows who Fred is.
Oh
No one else
God.
does.
I don't think I'm a
Because there's
SpongeBob fanatic
levels.
then.
Like, there's
There's
Schmitty,
levels.
Werben, Jaegerman, Jensen. Like, he was number one. Like, a lot of people know who that is, but not a lot of people know who Fred is. Fred is the guy who every
Yeah.
single time he's not mentally tough. Every time there's an instrument, he's the guy that goes, my leg, every single
My
time.
leg.
My leg. Yeah. Yeah. That's Fred. So Fred is the my leg guy. Yeah, I mean that one's iconic, but um a classic and always funny, you know, every single time.
Leg.
My leg, yeah.
You cannot beat SpongeBob, man. It's just like, oh, like I said. I mean, we mentioned it last week. I mean, I don't think I'll ever stop watching it. I mean, I could see myself being like 90 years old and still watching SpongeBob, and just reliving all those old
Oh,
episodes.
for sure, for sure. Because I mean, every character has their own, like I said, has their own type of personality, and you grow to love each character. Um, the Patrick show, I want to say, is a disaster. Um, and sometimes we be sarcastic on the show. I actually do not like the show, if I'm being completely honest with you.
The Patrick one, the
The
Patrick show.
Patrick show. I don't know what it is
I haven't
about it.
watched it yet.
It is just so. It's almost too. It's too child friendly. It's like they're targeting another. Because the reason SpongeBob was funny for me was because, and again, I guess personally I don't like it. That doesn't mean everybody has to not like it. But
Right.
personally, I thought SpongeBob was funny because everybody that watched it found their own sense of humor. The jokes had layers to them. So,
Right.
like, for example, when you talked about like that you're good, like to a 8-year-old, to a 7-year-old, that may not be that funny. You know what
Right.
I mean? As funny as it would be when you're older. Like it has different levels. But
It
like there's a
it
little bit
reminds
for
me
everybody.
it reminds me of Leroy, my brother.
Yes, it does. It
And
does.
and
100%.
because we were in the driveway one night of Nikki's house. I had just dropped her off,
Oh, I think I heard this story.
and I was already like, I think I was 45 minutes late to getting her home that night. Something happened. I don't remember what it was. We went to Louisville for something, and we got caught in traffic on the way back home. I think we went to a concert or something. But we were late coming back home. I was like 45 minutes late, which we had already told him we were going to be late. It wasn't like, we hadn't said anything. We just showed up 45 minutes late. But anyways, I'm there 45 minutes late. I pull into the driveway, go up, say bye to Nikki. She goes inside, and I start backing down the driveway. And Leroy looks at me, goes, Wyatt? And I was like, what? And keep in mind, I'm in reverse this whole time. Never says anything. And he just goes, stop. And as soon as he says stop, I slam into Nikki's dad's truck. And I'm like, oh my God. And I just think that makes me think of Leroy so much, where he was just like, Wyatt, stop.
Yeah.
Dude,
Like there wasn't
why didn't
any
you say something 20 seconds
yeah.
before?
Yeah.
Like, you had
Yeah.
all this. He was like, I thought you saw it. I was like, I didn't say it. Dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
he was so mad at me because I was mad at him. He was like, he could not understand why I was ticked. I was like, Leroy, dude, if you saw it, you should have told. And then he has the audacity, as soon as it happens, he has the audacity to look at me and go, I tried to tell you to stop. I was like, Leroy, no, you did not.
That's
He,
awesome.
he let me
That's
cruise
awesome.
right into that truck and just slam into it.
Yeah.
He'll never admit it, but I
And it's funny.
am certainly sure of it that he let me just cruise right into that truck.
Yeah. Yeah. That's hard because it's like just common communication, two brothers, and like I'm sure you're as close as possible too. And it's not like you're king or anything. Like
Right.
you were going super, and then bam,
Yeah.
the car. There was no communication.
Right. And it just made it even worse that it was so late at night. Trey, we're losing you here, buddy, if you can hear me. We're losing your signal here.
Is it better?
Oh, I heard is it better, but that's all I heard. You gotta get your Indiana Wi-Fi in check, man.
Dude, I'm trying to tell you, this Indiana is bad.
I'm getting like every
Can you hear
like
me?
5 or 6 words that you say. Okay, I can hear you, but I can't see you. Let's try this real quick. Ooh, close up of my face. Boom, he's back. How about that? That work? Did it? I don't know.
I'm full time. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's like really cutting out. Your network connection here is a 2 out of 10, it says. So, gosh, you beast. 2 out of 10.
I do about this. I know exactly.
Well,
Let me.
let's take a break real quick. We'll take a 1-minute break and we will come right back to. Oh wait, never
Can you hear
mind.
me now?
Yeah, what had just happened?
I switched to another Wi-Fi network, so hopefully this gives me.
Okay. All
Bam!
right, the show goes on, baby.
Yeah, the show goes on. Like I have
The
backup options.
How many Wi-Fi's do you have?
Well, I was using my personal hotspot because normally
Oh,
the
okay.
Wi-Fi here isn't that good, but you know, I guess the last one that I wanted to say before we go to break is Squidward, because Squidward, again, iconic character. Everybody, especially college students like we are, can relate to Squidward. And the one, oh, there's so many. I guess I did do the $100 for Krabby Patty. I'm trying to think.
I like the Squidward quote where they're out in the they're out in his front yard and they're drawing the circles and the squares around him to like stop stop the
Yeah.
what was it, the
Sea
bearfish? What
bear.
was that thing?
Sea
What was it?
bear. The
D
sea bear.
the sea
Yeah, the sea
bear.
bear.
Yeah. Those are that was really good.
I think Squidward, he has two. He says the first one was, "Fortunately, I have enough talent for all of you." That's one of them. Just classic, just Squidward brag. And then the second one is, "Please come again when I'm not working." When I think of Squidward, that's the quote I think of. I remember I am going to get one of those, the badge. It's like a purple badge. It goes, "I wish I weren't here right now." Do you know what I'm talking about? That, like, the pin, the purple pin. I really wish I weren't here right now. Something like that. But yeah, that's our SpongeBob quotes. Listen, if you haven't watched SpongeBob or don't watch SpongeBob, you're missing out. You're missing out. That is
You're
truly a
missing out
bucket list
huge,
thing.
actually.
Yes, that's truly a bucket list thing. I wouldn't be who I am without SpongeBob.
I couldn't agree more. Well, we had some game picks lined up, but SpongeBob talk ran us all the way to the next break. So you know what? We will save those game picks for next week. And right now, we will head to break. And when we come back, we've got Would You Rather. And welcome back to On the Court in the Booth podcast. Be sure to check us out on YouTube and make sure to leave a like and subscribe on that. We've lost Trey momentarily, some technical difficulties. Wi-Fi, I guess, is giving out on him. So we're going to jump right into Would You Rather while we wait on Trey to hop back in here. And the first question that we've got is a very interesting one. And it's one that me and Trey put a pretty good laugh on at the beginning of the show prep. All right, and we got him back now, just in time for our Would You Rather question. Um,
Yes.
First one here, I'll present to you first here. Would you rather have a mullet or a ponytail?
Dude. Does a man bun count?
No, it's got to be a
Dang.
ponytail because I feel like a man bun's just not man bun's not that bad. Like there are a lot of guys with man buns and stuff. Like yeah, you got to choose ponytail or mullet, all out.
I don't know. I feel like
Bonus points if you choose a mullet with a ponytail on the back of it. Just so you know.
yes. Yeah, yeah. I feel like yeah. I feel like a mullet. I don't know who told me this, but they were like, if you have a mullet, you get 5 extra racist points added to your score. And I think that may be true. Like, think about all the people that you know in your life that have mullets, and on the racist scale between 1 and 10, they are definitely higher than the majority of people that you know.
So
Listen, I
it's a
don't,
no go on the mullet for you, huh? Is that what you're saying
I
here?
don't, but I don't. A ponytail is bad too.
But a
A
ponytail's
pony,
kind
a
of
ponytail, a ponytail is really bad. Quick story. Um, Kevin, I wish I man. So basically, a little backstory. We know a guy named Kevin. Works at the
Kevin
Movement
Lannon.
Institute. Kevin Lannon,
Yep.
Movement Institute. He's my kind of first off, he's one of my closest friends. Um, but he's also my obviously at Purdue, you have the athletic trainer here. But before I came, and he, every now and then we hit up some athletic training advice and kind of thoughts. That's just something we enjoy to do and talk about. But anyway, I bring that up because we went to a basketball playing card convention. Um, and there was a guy there who had a ponytail, and forever, like from now until eternity, he will be known as the Ponytail Man because he was the guy who went up to you and like judged your cards. Like he was telling me how he makes, this amount of money after each month, and telling me how profitable he was, and like just bragging how cool he was that he was selling
Right.
cards at the clip. But I think one of his takes was that like, Hudson Landon, Hudson, one of Kevin's children, he's I forget what grade he's in, but he's a younger, kid, right?
Yeah.
Not obviously not in high school. So he has a Jaylen Brown card that he has, and he's really excited about this Jaylen Brown card. And this ponytail guy basically craps on his card. He's like, "Man, what a terrible card to have. Jaylen Brown sucks." Like, just goes
He
off on
said that
on how bad his card
to a
and stuff
little
is.
kid?
Yes, I mean, I'm not gonna say little kid, but like he's a middle schooler. Yes, and so
Dude.
it was just, and see, it's a play. It's a trading card guy, and we're there kind of having fun. Like Hudson really didn't care, give credit to him, but it's just like, gosh, like his life was that important that he was like, man, you should sell that now because it's not gonna be worth anything. Jaylen Brown sucks. So, and it's funny because he ended up having like a great year. The next year.
No kidding. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
it ended up, I'm sure that card probably skyrocketed.
Yeah, just
Yeah. Now
skyrocketed.
who
So he
sucks, ponytail man?
exactly. Yeah, now who sucks. But yeah.
All right. So you got to give it to us, man. Mullet or
I don't
ponytail?
know.
Let's hear it.
I know. I have to go. Oh man, I think a mullet would look better, but those racist points just add up. I have to go ponytail. The ponytail is the way for me.
I cannot see you with a ponytail. That does not. Oh, that would be so funny. I would. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I would pay a
Yeah.
lot of money to see that. I would pay a lot of money to see you with a ponytail.
Yep.
That
You
would
and me
be
both.
comical for sure. I would say it's kind of tough because like I said, either way, you got the negative on that. There are some
It's
like
there's no positives here. There's no
right.
positives, and
I will say
I'm
there
sorry
are
for
some.
all of our viewers who have a ponytail or mullet. Like, I am sorry, they're great
We're
haircuts
just
for
kidding.
specific people, racist and people that are card collectors that want to hate on children specifically. But but no, we
Dude, it's
haircuts are good for specific
oh
specific people, but for me personally, like a mullet or a ponytail would not work out good.
right.
Now, Wyatt, on the other
Oh,
hand, he could rock any option.
absolutely. I mean, come on, look at this. Look at this right here. You kidding me?
Yeah.
Dude, look at this flare on the side because of the hat head. You know what I mean?
Speaking of
This is
haircuts, I got a haircut. It is looking very nice,
I get
I
it cut
must say.
tomorrow. I get it cut tomorrow. So next episode, you
Yes,
guys will see
yes.
the fresh cut.
Wyatt
So
Williams haircut alert.
yes, I have not got a haircut since I lived in Indiana. So it's been a minute. My hair is like it goes down to my nose now, pretty much. I could stretch it all the way down here. Look, I can put it
Yes,
all the way down to my nose. That's
yes.
way too long.
It is time, Wyatt. It is time.
It is time. It was time like a month ago. So
Yeah.
it's time now. I would say God, I could not like I feel like a mullet I could at least like semi work with, like I could make it look okay, but a ponytail like I don't think I could make a ponytail look good. I really don't. I don't think there's any way I could do that, and certain people it looks good on, but just I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
So,
And you're a hat.
I
You
guess
wear a lot of hats too, and I don't know how
I
you.
do.
I don't know. Does it just go on the outside? You know that little slip that helps you tie your hat. Like what's on the front of your head right now?
Yeah.
Do you put the ponytail between that? Like what is
Yeah.
the whole
I think that's I
situation?
think that's where you're supposed to put it. Yeah.
That's what you do. Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure. That's what now that when I think back, I'm pretty sure that's what Nikki does. I think. I don't know
But see,
actually.
that's
That
another
that's a
problem
good
you got to
point.
worry about. There's other problems that you have a hoodie. What are you gonna do?
Right.
Like there's certain problems that you get with having a ponytail that a mullet, you
You
just
just
don't have.
you
You
just
don't
don't
have as
have. You
much.
just don't have. So I will I guess I'll take mullet on this one. I'll
Okay,
I'll I'll go
that's
mullet.
fair.
But I'm gonna say like one of the I don't know, one of the fancier mullets. You know what I mean? Like one of the nicer looking one. Not like, you know, short hair, long hair. I'm talking like, shave the sides and make it a short mullet that looks presentable. So,
Oh, okay.
make it as presentable as possible on the mullet. So, yeah, there you go. Mullet. I'll go mullet over ponytail on this one. Next, we have would you rather have a time machine or a teleporter?
Man. So I don't want to take this into a situation where it's like, oh, if I go back in time and kill my granddad, then I would never be there, but then I would never go back in time. And then you get this paradox and endless cycle. So
Right.
let's say that's not the case. Let's say you just get to go back in time and you get to like view things. Um, I mean, I guess do whatever you want back in time, but it doesn't affect the future.
Take take out take out all paradoxes.
Take out all paradoxes. Um, and then I'm guessing, so when you go back in time, so you can't teleport when you're back in time. Like you can't go back in time and go to a different country because then that would be teleporting. So you would go back into the time at the same spot you are now.
Oh, when you
That's what's
say that,
different
that
about it,
puts a
right?
whole new perspective in it. Yeah, I don't know if
It
I
has
want
to
to
be.
go to because here's the problem. If I go back, if I go back 3 months, I'm in somebody's house right now.
Right.
I'm
Okay.
not.
But yeah, but let's say, you're safe, you're just on the ground. Again, taking out all the yeah, Wyatt Williams. Well, if I go back in 1700, I'm floating in the air. Well,
Right, I
take
would hit
out.
the ground right now. We're on the second
Yeah,
floor.
yeah. It would suck to be in a plane right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude.
um,
Gosh.
yeah. That would not end well.
Would
Um,
not.
but even with that said, I still think I'll take the teleporter, just because I don't know. I wouldn't have to. I don't want to find Isaac Newton. I don't know why it was the first person that came to mind, but I would love to meet Isaac Newton in the past. Um, but yeah, I would take a teleporter. I just think that being able to go wherever you want, and yes, I know the metaverse, we're going to be allowed to go wherever we want as soon as everybody gets those goofy glasses or whatever that I definitely
Right.
won't be a part of. But
You? No way.
no. Um, but
We were, oh no,
yeah,
I just want to bring up something. We were texting last night about like, just the future and life and everything, like what the future holds, where, what we want to do. And I'm talking to you and I'm like, hey, do you know like what area you want to be around? And most people always answer with like, oh, I want to be in New York City, or I want to be in California, or I want to be in Florida. You text me and say, I don't know, somewhere in the middle of nowhere, just because that's where I'd want to live. So I love it, dude. It's
yeah.
so awesome.
Like when I think of the happiest moments in my life, that kind of sounds awful. It's when I was around no one. Um,
The happiest moments of my life was when I had nobody there to bother me.
right? Yeah, yeah. Because people
Uh,
are just the worst part of the universe. Um, but no, it is like there's a certain happiness that you get when you are secluded from enough secluded from society, but still able to be around your friends and family. Like obviously, you don't want
right.
to be in a situation where you are, like by yourself, like off the grid. Um, but like I'm not.
Leroy does.
Leroy does, but Leroy is a
He
different
told
animal.
me that yesterday. I asked him, I'm like, hey, have you ever thought about just like living off the land? And he looked at me, he was like, I'm
All
serious,
the
man.
time.
I'm serious, man. I've thought
Yeah,
about it. I'm gonna do
yeah,
it. I think I'm
yeah,
and I'm like, oh my.
yeah, yeah. And he will. Like he's not
He
joking.
would. He 1000% would.
Yeah. And so, again, not everybody's cup of tea, but for me, I don't like the social media age. I don't like having to, and I don't like, this is going to be a Trey rant here. I don't like schools requiring students to use resources that they're against. I don't like, for example, we were talking about this metaverse thing. If you don't know what the metaverse is, it's a super long explanation. But the basis of it is if you have ever seen Ready Player One, the movie, I believe it's a book as well. But if you've ever seen or watched that, um, that's basically what it is. Like you have these glasses. Everybody wears these glasses, and you get to be an avatar where you can change your clothes, customize everything you want. But you get to go anywhere in the world that you want. It's basically like virtual reality, but it's the metaverse. It's this almost digital world that we all get to live in, that
Right.
everybody is in at once. So instead of like an icon on social media, you are an actual person. You are an avatar. That's who you are. From what I understand. And so the problem with that is one of the things that they talked about was like Zoom calls, meetings with team members. They're gonna be on this metaverse. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's going to be a required thing in order to get your education, in order, succeed in life, in order to get all these things that people, think or to give you an advantage in life. You will need to be a part of this metaverse. Like it's something that you'll have to. And for me, there's so many things in basketball that I miss out on because I'm a type person who just kind of follows my code, follows my not morals, but just goes to the beat of my own drum on a lot of things. So I, I,
Right.
I don't really care, but there's no doubt in my mind that if I was more of an extrovert and more into social media, that would have helped me longer in basketball. It would have because
You think so?
there. I think so, and that's taking away all of the mindset. I'm just talking about because then you get the popularity, your name gets out there, you get connected with more people. There's just so many advantages, of doing like you get so many connections, but like I don't believe in social media. I don't believe in that kind of connection with people. I just don't like it. It just doesn't feel genuine. So, long story short, going back to our original thing, yes, I want to be in a place where I can see Indiana is perfect. Rolling hills, like in the like just nothingness, going outside, just being able to see nature, being able to talk to a few friends, talk to
Right.
family, like those are the happiest moments in my life. Like I remember I had a conversation with my teacher and it was talking about I think it was called a book called The Outsiders, and
Great book.
great book. And this was so long ago. Um but she was talking about what's the difference between the Socias and I forget what the other people were called. But there's
The
two
greasers.
the
Greasers.
greasers. And it's kind of this Romeo not Romeo and Juliet, but kind of situation where the greasers are kind of lower class people. Socias are the, higher class people. And I think the question we had these like Socratic
Like
circles.
in um Outer Banks, the Kooks and the Pogues.
Yeah, the Kooks and the Pokes. If you watch Outer Banks, another great show on Netflix. Can't wait for the new season.
It's
But
gonna be awesome.
one of the questions was why do these socias keep on picking on the greasers? Right? It seems like the greasers are minding their own business. Like, and why do they keep doing that? Like, why do they find fun? And I remember I was in middle school when I was saying this, and I think it's so true. It's that the greasers don't have enough. They have the perfect balance of finding like every exciting thing in their life or every exciting like let's see how to explain this. Every exciting thing that they don't get presents all the time. Put it like that. They don't get presents all like imagine if you had Christmas every day. And Christmas is not about presents, but if you had Christmas every day, it wouldn't mean as much to get a present.
Right.
And so as a greaser, you get to focus on like when you get to have that get together with your friends. That's a fun day, right?
It is.
My fun days as a kid was with I got to go out to there's a place called Patoka Lake. There's
Patoka Lake.
yeah, Wildridge. Um, we just and we got to kind of get around the campfire. It was me, my grandma, my grandpa, and we would just cook s'mores, and that was so much fun to me. And it's so
Did you hold
simple.
on? Say it again.
Wildridge
No. The food. What did you just call it?
s'mores,
Okay, I
s'mores,
thought you said it different. When you first said it,
s'mores,
you said
or
some
s'mores,
s'mores. Yeah,
or s'mores. Yeah, s'mores. What
some more. I thought when you said some s'mores, I was like,
it's my country accent. It's one of those things like when you hear yourself talk. Like I hate listening to myself talk, but yeah, I
I hate
definitely
listening to myself talk, so I got a podcast.
So I have a podcast. Yes,
So
so I have a podcast. Exactly. Um, but yeah, those little things really matter in life. So while the socials are getting like new cars or whatever they were getting, all these like new cool things, material objects, um,
materialistic, yeah.
materialistic things. The greasers got to take light in the little things in life. Have happiness with the little things in life. And that's
Right.
kind of cliche in how you say it, but to me that's kind of what social media is. It's it's a lot of like materialism where that just isn't what brings me happiness, to be honest with you. So, that's my Trey rant for the day.
There it is. There it is. I love it. Hey, I agree with you though. And that's what so many people really just like down on the Midwest states. And I know like I never really noticed it, of course, being in Indiana because everybody there loves it there. But
Yeah.
like, especially now that I'm in Florida, like people are always like, "Oh, you're from Indiana." Like, Jeez, like, oh, what's it like? Yeah, right. Did you grow up near a cornfield?
Yeah,
Yes, I grew up in one. Why?
yeah, yeah.
No, but so many people are so down on the Midwest and stuff, and I just like I was talking to Nikki about it the other day. Excuse me. Like, ideal situation. I would love to just come back to Indiana, kind of like the Pat McAfee show, and just stream worldwide a sports radio show, but live in Indiana. Like, that sounds perfect to me. Like, honestly, I wouldn't. I can't think of any place on earth that sounds better than just being there. And I think I want to live in like I think I want to be in the Indianapolis area. You know, maybe I would be fine with Southern Indiana again. I'd be perfectly fine with that. Um, but I think, what do you think? If you could relocate to anywhere in Indiana, where do you think you would be? Like, if you had to choose right now, one place in Indiana to settle down, where would you choose?
I mean, I would go back. I would go back to Sellersburg just because I'm
Really?
familiar with the place. It's just there's something different about a place that no one knows about. It's kind of like the Radiator Springs um, of
Right.
the country. Just a place that no one really knows about, but you're fine there, right? You're fine, and that's not because there is a problem with growing up your entire life in Sellersburg, and then that's all you know. Like that's a problem, right? Because
Right.
then you don't get to have other experiences with different people outside of the country, and you get that's that's kind of how like super opinionated people. I don't want to make this kind of a political podcast, but to me that's how
Well, if you
super
only hear one view for your
yeah
entire life, you're gonna believe one
exactly.
view.
You're a little bit ignorant to other people outside of the world. So yes, I believe that you should get to travel and get to go to different. I love to go to Florida for a week. Not
Right.
saying that's the most cultural thing because when I go to Florida, yes, I love paying a lot of money for hotels and expenses. And yeah, actually not being in Florida, like being in this super, it's kind of like when you go to a different country, like you're not actually in that country, you're in the Americanized version of that country.
Right.
And so you got to do both, right? You got to you got to live your best life, but you also got to go talk to real native people of different spots, but at the same time, a place that I want to live, it would have to be kind of that middle of nowhere place. That's the place for me.
I like it. I agree with you. I think that there's a lot of really good places in Indiana, and if I had to choose one, like right now, to just settle down for the rest of my life immediately, probably choosing the same thing that you did. I'm not going. I'm going with my hometown too. I'm going with Floyd Knobs. I'm just gonna, it's an. I already know the location, and it's in a really good area too. So like, and same with Sellersburg. Both of them are, and it's close to everything too. Like that's just home. So I don't know. You've got to go back home since you started college. So like, is it? I don't know. I don't know how to word this question. Is it like coming home after being away for a while? Does it feel different? Like what happens? You know what I mean? Like, I haven't got to experience that yet, and I won't get to experience it for Thanksgiving either, sadly. Um, but for Christmas I get to come home. So like, what is like what happens? I don't know. Like, I'll just ask you, what
Yeah.
what did you feel? How did you feel? Was it different? What were the differences?
And so this is where being a college athlete is different than a lot of other things. Especially because, like I said, I am on that redshirt year. So it's a late night podcast, guys, and I am excited, but I'm also tired. Um, again, lost my train of thought. Um, Going home, yes.
Yes.
Um, what was I saying?
Like, what were your feelings when you first got home? You were away for a while. What are those
Oh, that's
initial
what I was talking about.
feelings like?
I was talking about being an athlete. Yeah, I was because I'm on that redshirt year. I get a chance to work out more, obviously, because I'm not playing in the games, and I
Right.
get a chance to, kind of lift more individualized to what I need to make me a better player. Because a lot of things you don't get because you want to try to while you're in season, especially in college, you have so many games that the majority of your days aren't like you're trying to get better every day. Obviously, every day in practice, you want to get better, but some of that too is saying, how am I going to be my best on game day when it really matters? Like there is a component of that, right? No matter what anybody
Right.
says, yes, you want to work your hardest every day you're in practice, but at the same time, yes, you want to be your best when it actually matters. When you're
Sure.
redshirt, you don't have that. And so you get to schedule more workouts, more, lifting sessions, more film, more this, that, and the other. So because of the red shirt, I've gotten more, just basically a bigger workload. And so, but even if you're a normal college athlete that's, playing, you get so locked up, especially in season, with everything that's going on. And I've had this where the past I went home the past weekend for like a day, and I could never get my mind off of the things that I had to be doing back at Purdue. And so you almost need 3, 4 days. So after the second day, your body finally goes, okay, fine. Like I can chill, I can relax.
Right.
But if you only go home for one day, it'll not be worth it, in my opinion, because you're so, like, your body's just so focused on, hey, I gotta go back. Like, you know what I mean? I gotta go back. I
Right.
gotta get this stuff done. I gotta do this, instead of just saying, okay, just being able to relax and kind of calm down for a second. So that has been my experience. When I do get kind of that 3 or 4 day break, it's really easy. Like, you just go right back to where you were. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
obviously there's some things you like, I still try to get a workout in. I still try to, do a lot of things that need to get done, but you kind of fall back in your old routine of like, this is my bed, or this is, these are the people that I can visit while I'm here, and this is my spots, and like this
See,
is
I
what I
think that's
do.
gonna be so weird to me is sleeping in my old bed again.
Yeah.
Like now that I've got adjusted to this one. So like I think that's definitely gonna be weird. And like my room doesn't look the same because I brought my TV, a bunch of like my sports memorabilia down here. I mean, a lot of it's hanging on the wall right there. So like I think that I don't know, man. I'm really excited to come home and get to see everybody at Christmas. But at the same time, I'm kind of nervous. Like I don't know, and I
Well,
don't know
heck, like
why.
we play on, I don't know if we play on Christmas or not. It's kind of bad. I don't know my own schedule, but we play around there, right? Like NBA teams
Right.
play on Christmas.
Yeah.
So like you don't get, it's not the same, is I guess is what I'm saying. So if you're, if there's anybody that's watching this, I'm sure there's, plenty of younger kids, aspiring athletes that are looking to play college basketball, college football, college, whatever college sport must be. And they always tell you about the work, but it's more of the mental, like, realizing the mental aspect of you're not being at home is harder than your sport, in my opinion. Is
See, and
harder.
I don't play a sport, but like I agree with you more than anything. I think the hardest part of coming to college is being away. Like
It is. It's
especially with
not
being down
studying.
here.
It's not
Right, absolutely.
studying. It's
It's
not
not
the
studying,
like
it's not the work.
you find in school they always tell you, like, these are going to be your college classes. These are going to be your college. It's going to be so much harder in college. It's going to be so much harder in college. It's
I
like,
think
what?
college is easier than high school.
I've had the same experience.
I 100% think that.
I think the college classes that I have taken are, again, it's going to be different for everybody, but the college classes that I have taken are easier than in high school. The hardest part about college has been the transfer from, your routine in high school to your routine in college. And it's little things. It's little things. You get accumulated to the, okay, I'm not going to be at home, not seeing my family as much, like, obviously there's a little homesickness every now and then, but you finally get accumulated to that, but you still miss the, like I don't know if I quite still feel at home yet at Purdue. Like, it's
Right,
great.
no,
I love living here. You know,
Sure.
it's fine, but I don't feel like I can just completely relax here.
No, I agree with you 100%. I think, like, you know, there is so much to do in this area, you know. Um, you've got Disney World, you've got downtown Orlando, you've got Universal. There's a really big like theme park down here that's off of um that's just next to downtown Orlando that's separate from Disney and Universal. You've got SeaWorld, you've got like there's so much stuff to do down here, but I don't know, it just doesn't those things that you do and I guess it's not necessarily a location thing. I've started to realize that I don't think it has to do with location. I think it has to do with the people that you're with because, you know, down here I've seen all kinds of just great stuff, just awesome stuff, beautiful sunsets, and you know, the beach is just awesome to get to see. Palm trees. I wake up every morning and I see palm trees. Like that's something I've always wanted to do. But I don't know, there's just a certain aspect of being at home, being around the ones you love, being around the ones you know, and all that. There's just something about that that's so different than being here. And don't get me wrong, like, I love it down here. It's really it's awesome. It's great. School's going really good. Me and Nick are having a great time. We're doing, everything we can to just survive right now. Um with cooking and everything. But I don't know. I just think like the people that you are with and what you're doing is just so much more than the area because I've had a lot of people tell me like, "Oh, well, so what? You're in paradise." You're right, I am. I am in paradise. Like this place is awesome. The weather's great. Like it was 85 degrees, 80 degrees here today in Florida with a cool breeze. It was incredible. And the golf courses down here are ridiculous. If you know me, I'm a big golf guy. I love golfing. So, there's all kinds of great stuff and it is paradise, but it's not home. Like
Right.
there's a huge difference between something being fun and amazing and great and home. Like there's a huge difference. And a difference I never even
There's
realized until you experience it, until you have that moment where you're like, okay, this is awesome, but it's not home. Until you have that moment where you come to that realization and, you know, I don't know, it just feels like there's a closure moment that you have where you really learn to appreciate home and what it is and how great it is too. I think I've really had a big moment where I kind of figured out that, home was Indiana. Home, I came down here to, to go to college, but to also, you know, get away from everything for a while, to experience a new culture, to experience new people, to experience just a whole new clean slate. Um, but really all that I found out is people are the same but different at the same time. Everybody goes about their business here the same way that they do everywhere else. The cultures are definitely a little different. There's not palm trees and beaches in Indiana. There's lakes and cornfields. But I think that there is pluses to both. And I think that it's just to make a long story short here. I've been kind of beating around the bush for a while now. I'll get to the point. Um, Home is home, and yeah, I guess that's all I've got. Home is home, man. And once you figure out what that is and you find it, it's awesome. It's so happy. It's such a great feeling. And like I said, I'm excited. I'm excited to come home and get to see everybody, get to see the landscape again too. Like the views are so different here. Like nothing visually is the same. You don't really get that cornfield aspect or the wide open spaces. There's actually blocks here and there's a ton of lights and it takes long to drive everywhere because the lights are so terrible. Where in Indiana, you just cruise at 50 everywhere you go because it's all highways and interstates. So
Yeah.
there you go. That's my 2 cents on college and home.
Yeah, yeah. I want to say, normally go 90 minutes to this podcast, but uh, again, there's no rules kind of with us.
Sure.
We may go 2 hours today. I don't know. Um, but also, if you're not looking for a deep philosophical podcast, this isn't the podcast for you. I want to say it off the jump because the most intriguing, like when I think of Wyatt and my relationship and our conversations that we have, normally it gets really deep, it gets really philosophical, and a lot of
Always.
the things that we're talking about are things that we are experiencing right now. This answer may change, you know, oh, not, I'm not gonna say a week, but a couple
Sure.
months from now, a year from now. These things may change. So we're going through the same experiences, as you are, but no matter what, going back to your point about home, why is what you're saying is kind of my point on materialism and um the difference between, because there's some things that material objects, and even material like a sunset isn't material, you know what I mean?
Right.
It isn't, it's nature, it's beautiful, but it's not home. And I get that same type of feeling. Now I'm in West Lafayette, so it is not a it is not paradise by any means. Nobody says, nobody, even people who live in West Lafayette, say it is paradise. Um, but I get what you're saying as far as, even if you have a beach, even if you're looking over a beach, even if you are, you have Disney World, you have SeaWorld, you have golf courses, you have all these things, it still isn't home. And people wonder why, like, why is America one of the most depressed countries out of, out of everyone? Should be one of the happiest countries with all the things that we have here. It's
Right.
the same thing. You can't rely on your happiness to be on these material kind of, things. And
Right.
so no matter what, religion you believe in, it's kind of the same thing as far as, like, what your home is. You know what we're talking about as far as um what we mean by materialism and what we mean by, finding happiness in the little things. I guess if there's one point to this show, one point that I want to make today is, be happy with the little things that you have. You know what I mean? If you can be happy with saying hi to your mom, giving your mom a hug, if you're, still in high school, still in middle school, or, you know, having a great conversation with a friend, or laughing, or, like, before we did the show, we had a great laugh. I hadn't laughed in a while. And just, like, not like that, at least.
So not that
It was just,
hard, right? Where it
yeah,
hurts.
not that hard, where it hurts.
And it was the
Yeah.
Spongebob quotes,
It
man.
was, yeah, just SpongeBob quotes, yeah. And that's fun, you know what I mean? That's fun. And
Right.
that doesn't cost me $120 ticket to Disney World, right?
Right.
That's not what people call paradise, but that's real stuff that real people have. And again, it's the little things. It's the little things in life that, to me, are the most satisfying and the most happy. To bank off what Wyatt said. So,
Yeah, absolutely. No, I couldn't agree more, man. And you know, it is what it is. And like I said, I'm excited to, like I said earlier, I'm excited to come home and get to see everybody and get to see everything again. And yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. But until then, we're sticking it out in college, doing good, man. But I do agree with you bringing up what you said earlier. And this is a very interesting thing too, because all through high school you get told, like, and I kind of feel this is the way with all schools. Like in elementary, they're like, excuse me, oh, they're not going to put up with this in middle school. They're not going to put up, and then in middle school, they're like, oh, they're not going to put up with this in high school. They're not going to, and then in high school, they're like, oh, they're not going to put up with this in college. And really, what I've figured out is every step along the way, like there are gonna be people who help you. There are gonna be people who push you to do better, and especially in college too. Like I said, I think the easiest school that I've had so far, um, from middle school on, has been college, because first off, it's stuff you're interested in too, so that really helps.
yes.
Um,
You get to pick
from a
you get to
learning
pick
aspect,
everything.
right?
To me,
Literally,
to me,
you get to
that's a
pick
huge
everything.
aspect. I don't mean to interrupt you here, Wyatt, but yes,
No, you're good. You're good.
that is definitely a huge aspect. Like, you don't get to pick what elementary school you go to. Really, you
Right.
don't get to pick what, I guess, unless you really have influence over your parents' decision. Like, you don't get to pick what high school you go to, but you
Yeah,
get
most
to
people really
pick.
don't.
You know what I mean? You get to pick, or most people have some say in what college they go to.
Right.
So that's the first time you get to experience, and it was the same thing as far as like, for basketball, like recruiting. Like, I am always going to stay, you know, with Purdue, and that's why I took recruiting so seriously, is because I got to pick for the first time what offense I wanted to run, what defensive systems I want to play for,
Right.
how I wanted to play, what I wanted to do. That's my choice. College is the first time that you get to pick what you're, and it's not to say that you got a bad high school, you got a bad middle school, but there is something nice about having a choice over the destination, knowing what you're going to walk into.
Right.
To me is what made college a lot easier so far. Again, we're only, it's our freshman year, so it is different, but so far,
Right. Now, 2 years down the road,
yeah,
we
two,
could be
2 years
staring
down the
back like,
road,
oh,
yeah,
we're gonna watch this episode and be like, those kids are idiots.
yes, episode whatever it is.
Wait,
We're gonna be like, man,
that's
we
us.
messed up.
Why did I say that?
Yeah.
This is all my fault. I jinxed it.
It's like, Wyatt, get a haircut. Stop
Right.
lying to us all.
My hair is. I actually have a ponytail at that point.
He has a ponytail. It's down to his feet.
Oh my gosh.
But
well,
yes.
Here we go, man. Our quote of the episode, and we've kind of been coming up with these as we went along. We didn't have one for episode 1, but episode 2 was "It's Chester's, not Cheetos," and we backed it up with, "For the record, mayonnaise is an instrument," from Trey Kaufman himself. That's incredible,
Are we
man.
Get a quote from you, Wyatt?
At some point, I'm sure.
At some
Definitely.
point. Some point.
Definitely.
I've been dominating the quote game. What can I
You
say?
have. You are winning the quote game right now. You got me pinned on that one.
At that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, guys, we appreciate you for tuning in. As always, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And we'll put it up here again. We'll put it because I missed it in the beginning. There it is. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at On the Court in the Booth Pod. And episode 3 went great. Really excited for episode 4. Be sure to watch out for the Q&A questions. Or if you don't want to, drop them below. We go through all of the comments and stuff, everything you guys say. So we will be going through those and getting our Q&A together. And yeah, episode 3 was awesome. Ready to send this out, man?
Yeah. If you follow us on IG at On the Court in the Booth Pod, Wyatt says he will buy everyone in your family free Little Caesars pizza. So
did I say that? Really?
Yeah, that is actually a promise by Wyatt Williams.
Am I allowed to put that on a credit card and then your NBA contract in a couple of years? Is that when we pay that back, or is that right now?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
So basically, everybody, if you can, follow the On the Court in the Booth Pod right now, or your life also may be in danger.
Guys, episode 3 was awesome. We will see you guys next time. Be safe, have fun. Life, laughter, and most important, basketball, baby.